Chihiro Sumida comes out of this Japanese bullpen, got a victory already in this tournament under his belt, and pitched very well in a lengthy outing, 3 innings to get the win against Australia when they moved to 3-0 in pool play. It's a big job here to deal with Churio and then back to the top with Acuna and Garcia. Yamamoto retired the last 6 men he faced, and now gives way to the left-hander in Sumida at 5'9", 167 pounds. 2-0.
Venezuela has to go now. They have to be the next team to score in this game. It's winner take all. They're already down 3. They cannot give up any more runs. Jesus, great job getting out of it, but here's their chance. They're 2-0 right here on Jackson Churio. You have Acuna on deck, the top of their order. You got to figure out a way to score the next run if you're Venezuela.
Churio struck out his first time on a fastball. He'll take that fastball high, and he's ahead 3-0. Young star for the Milwaukee Brewers, just turned 22. And in the 2 seasons prior to turning 22 years old, back-to-back 20 homer, 20 steal campaigns. Takes all the way a strike.
You know, one thing that's amazing, I played against the Japanese All-Stars in 2002 with a team from MLB that went over there. They didn't have a lot of guys that could break 90 miles an hour. It was more finesse, more breaking balls. Now the Japanese have Yamamoto 97, 98. Even Sumida here, low mid 90s. They figured out, we mentioned the power, they've also figured out a way to gain velocity.
It's a leadoff walk though, drawn by Churio, and now Acuna will come to the plate with a man aboard and nobody out in the 5th. First pitch to Acuna, that was a nasty curveball for a strike. Big swooping breaking ball, 21 miles an hour slower than we saw that fastball to Churio that walked him. Check swing from Acuna, that's how he grounded out back in the 2nd after his first inning homer.
Acuna hasn't seen a lot of fastballs anywhere close. Yamamoto has second at bat after hitting the home run. Steady diet off speed, then 2 fastballs that weren't strikes, got the check swing, and now we've seen a breaking ball and a changeup here from Sumida. Japan doesn't want to try that fastball trick again because last time went a long ways to right center.
Towards 3rd and foul. Acuna always comes back to winter ball in Venezuela. '23 NL MVP. Like Ohtani, it put together a very unique season, a 40-70 campaign. Never been done in baseball until Acuna did it 3 years ago. 0-2 pitch. Fights off another tough off-speed delivery. Acuna, of course, a couple of ACL injuries. He's still only 28 years old. He has so much baseball in front of him. He was the comeback player of the year last year after that 2nd ACL injury in 2024. Waits for another 2-strike pitch. It takes outside and low.
Adam, he said Sumida doesn't throw a split like almost every other Japanese guy. That changeup acts like a split, the way it comes
really
out.
Does.
You know, you mentioned a fork ball, but the way that ball comes out, it has the movement of a split finger.
Might as well call it a split change. And it registered as a split, so yeah, we'll just go with the trend. Yeah. Everybody has a good splitter on this roster.
But also, here's the experience of a Ronald Acuna Jr. The more he sees it, you see the takes get better and better.
Seventh pitch coming here. Did he hold back? He did not. Dan Iasonia rang him up for the strikeout. Acuna's frustrated, but a big out to record by Sumida. You see, Omar Lopez has to come out and settle down, one of his stars, after this strikeout.
Here's the problem I have with it. Listen, does Dan Iasonia maybe get it right? Yes. It's just too important of a game and too important of a point in the game for me on a pitch like that to make that call. That's why he's frustrated. Was it the right call? Possibly, but it's such a judgment call. Then again, I was a hitter, Adam, so I always thought no one swung.
There's a changeup that just misses to Michael Garcia.
Maybe he's letting him know.
Yep. Yeah, he's still kind of chopping it up at Iasonia over there, veteran umpire.
What a thankless job as umpire. No one likes you ever. No matter what call, one team hates you.
There's a strike.
Right, because if he calls it no swing and Acuna does something, then Japan's yelling at him.
And now Iasonia is looking back towards Miguel Cabrera. Gerardo Parra, the first base coach, kind of slid his body in between the umpire and Venezuela's legendary hitting coach.
What's Iasonia? Honestly, is he going to throw out Miguel Cabrera at a WBC game? Maybe, but wow.
We've seen stranger things. Acuna's cousin Garcia will take another strike. A couple of well-located deliveries from the lefty Sumida. Garcia seemed relatively satisfied with the explanation from Chris Siegel behind the plate there. Two-two pitch. Flipped up into the air and out of play. Tom Verducci, you're very close to Miguel Cabrera down in that Venezuelan dugout.
Yeah, they haven't let up. And I guess I can tell you that in the rule book, there is no definition of a swing. So what the umpires do, and Dan Iasonia, the first base umpire, is looking right down the chalk of the foul line. And if they see the barrel cross the airspace of the foul line, they will rule swing. And that's clearly what happened right there.
Great stuff, Tom. There's a check over to first base and Churrio. Mentioned some of the adjustments or changes or applications of Major League Baseball rules. There is no ABS system, by the way, for this WBC. That will debut in Major League Baseball this year after a relatively successful spring training run. Just got a piece at Garcia and it banged off of his lower extremity. His breakout season for the Kansas City Royals last year, and then signed an extension. American League Central is shaping up to be full of really good young stars in these next couple of years. Two-two pitch on the ground foul.
And a ton of them have been showcased in this WBC. Whatever team you look at, with Garcia, you mentioned the Royals. You go to the Team Italy with Caglione also on the Royals. Kyle Teal with the White Sox. Antonacci with the White Sox, right? They're just Travis Bazzana with the Team Australia hit some home runs in the Tokyo Dome.
#1 pick.
With Cleveland.
Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr. probably towards the top of the list as one of
He's already a star, though.
Yeah, but still so young, right?
True.
What is he, 23 years old? There's so many of those guys right around 23, 24, 25. Garcia making it tough on Sumida. His 20th pitch is laced out towards left field. Yoshida's watching it. It is gone. Venezuela's right back in it. Michael Garcia delivers. Cabrera made sure he got one last word into Ha-seong after an emotional last 3 or 4 minutes here in Miami. And there is su primo, his cousin, Acuna, the first man over the railing to cheer for Garcia. Big cut there from Arise, and it's 0-2.
You think this doesn't matter? You think this doesn't matter to both of these teams? Just watch the emotion. We're only in the 5th inning. Actually, 4 1/3 inning here, but Miguel Cabrera, Hall of Famer, fired up. Ronald Acuna on track to be a Hall of Famer, fired up. His cousin hitting homers.
Arise reaches out, the rare strikeout from Luis Arise, and the momentum shifting back and forth here. My goodness, they're still firing up Acuna in the dugout. 2 away here in the 5th. Maybe more settling him down than firing him up.
Let's throw one more little thing on top of this. Venezuela wins this game. They go to the Olympics.
That's right.
So this game means even more than just the WBC. And the emotion in the Venezuela dugout, they know.
Sumida was on as a left-hander to make sure he got through Arise. He gets the strikeout, but gives up the 2-run Michael Garcia homer. Opening game of this tournament, and he steps in with 2 down and the bases empty, and Eugenio Suarez coming to the plate. You talked about it, AJ. Guys in Japan have developed more and more velocity over the years. An example we're going to see here with Fujihara. He'll face Suarez, trying to end this 5th inning. Starts him off with a sinker.
That was not a sinker, by the way. That was a split. I'm going with split on that. That had split action. It might have registered as a sinker, but that was a split. And by the way, he also has like the coolest pause at the top of his motion ever, and he'll mix it up to try to mess with guys' timing, but that was not a sinker. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you on that. And again, speaks to the velocity. When you have an 88-mile-an-hour split to match with a mid-90s high fastball, what a difficult assignment for any hitter to have to face in Japan. That's translated into this tournament too. Ball and a strike on Gino Suarez.
See, I would get so angry right now as a hitter because there's a pitch clock, so he has to start the time, but then he holds it on top of his balance for like 3 seconds. Watch, his 6. Now he'll start and he'll just hold it there.
Yeah, so it's the clock ended with 4. It's an extra like 2 seconds on that hold, and he's mixed up the timings too. Suarez did not go. It's 2-1.
And then someone will get on and he'll slide step the next pitch. Yep. As a hitter, you're going, wait, how is that not a balk?
The other element, these teams have had to adjust so fast to their opponents in this tournament. 3-1 on Suarez, missing with a changeup.
That's a split.
Split change.
A split change, sinker, whatever you want to call it. That ball's a split.
Absolutely.
Fork ball, whatever you want to call it. That ball has split action and split velocity.
Again, it's the pitch that has risen in popularity in Japan faster than any other, and that's translated to the United States over the last 5 years. 3-1 pitch to Suarez, in there for a strike.
He quick pitched him. But he quick pitched him.
He had the quick step.
So as a hitter, I used to get so mad. How is that legal? Because he's messing with my timing. He goes slow, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom, quick pitch.
Fujihara to Suarez, a payoff delivery on the way. It's popped up foul.
And then what you do next is you've done slow, 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 quick pitch fastball. Then you go quick pitch split. And you get the hitter thinking, oh, here comes a fastball, rush him. And a lot of times you can get the swing and miss.
So it's a combination of basically 3 pitches with 3 or 4, maybe 5 different types of timings. Then add in location, then add in velocity. Oof, Suarez fouls one off his foot.
And a lot of times when guys have big leg kicks like Suarez, he's cut it down a little bit. But you watch this motion. Jose Bautista was a great example, had the big leg kick. So we would tell our pitcher slide step. Because he tries to time off of you. If you slide step, you rush him. And that's what Suarez is thinking. He's like, is he going to quick pitch me? Is he going to go slow? Is he going to go double leg kick? It's all trying to mess up Suarez's timing.
Wakatsuki managing it all behind the plate for an excellent closer in Japan in Fujihara. Suarez skies it. Murakami and Wakatsuki are there. It's the catcher Wakatsuki to hold on to it. But Michael Garcia, after a breakout 2025, bangs a 2-run shot in the quarters for Team Venezuela. Seiya Suzuki walked in the first inning and was cut down trying to steal, but you saw that hard slide, and he left this game with some knee discomfort. Took a little while for Hirokazu Ibata to choose the replacement, and he chose the right one. Shota Morishita, a power hitter in his own right, in his first at bat in the third inning. That 3-run shot that at the time made it a 5-2 game. Since then, the 2-run home run by Michael Garcia to make it 5-4. We are halfway through this quarterfinal, and Emmanuel De Jesus continues to work out of the Venezuelan bullpen. He'll face Morishita here and pour in a fastball strike.
That home run here by Morishita seems like it was 2 hours ago. Everything that's happened in between.
Big hits, big pitches, and a lot of emotion.
And a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
Both teams are having fun. Everyone in the stadium seems like they're having fun. No matter what team you're rooting for, you've had something to cheer for. Venezuelan has 5 hits and has hit 5 rockets.
2 balls and a strike on Morishita. It started out in the first inning for both teams, right? Get an Acuna home run for Venezuela to start it off. Ohtani comes back and hits a solo blast. And it's been nonstop seemingly ever since. The spot, the semis on the line. 3-1 on Morishita.
I believe tonight, it's never happened in a major league game. Leadoff home runs by guys that were former MVPs. I think tonight is the first time we've ever seen that happen in a game.
That's awesome. 4-time MVP Ohtani, 1-time MVP Acuna. And Morishita takes a big cut. It's 3-2. In fact, that Svidar, excellent statistician, lets us know only twice did it happen in all of the 2025 regular season in Major League Baseball that both teams had a leadoff home run in the first inning. It's a rarity to say the least. Payout pitch is fouled, although maybe when you look at the way these lineups are constructed and the players that are playing in this tournament, and you got Ohtani and Acuna at the top of these orders, maybe it's not as surprising or shocking.
And then tomorrow you'll have who? Bobby Witt, who leads off for, I mean, pick one of the All-Stars. Fernando Tatis.
Soto, put somebody at the top. That'll be tomorrow night from here in Miami. 3-2 pitch. And called strike 3 at the knees. 3 straight strikeouts recorded by De Jesus against the top of the Japanese order going back to the 4th.
Morishita doesn't like it. That was a perfect pitch by De Jesus. And people can say whatever they want about this WBC, but for someone like Emmanuel De Jesus, he has AJ Hinch watching. He's got on a minor league deal with the Tigers. Hey, you punched out Shohei, you punched out Sato, you punched out Morishita, and now you get Yoshida. This is an audition on the biggest stage possible. This proves you can pitch in any environment.
This is the individual stories, the individual journeys that are part of the bigger tapestry of all of these minor league teams that are part of the bigger major league organizations that are part of Major League Baseball, and those players part of this international stage. 1-1 on Yoshida. Spent 7 years playing in Japan before getting the opportunity with the Boston Red Sox. So big in the knockout stages of that 2023 WBC en route to the championship for Samurai Japan, as they're known. Typically teams in Japan were named after their manager. So this year it would be Ibata Japan after Hirokazu Ibata. But in 2009, the Japanese decided to use the samurai, a symbol of their history, the warriors that stepped up for their country. Yoshida grounds one to second to Torres. He'll throw out Yoshida. Part of these incredible stories, and from the WBC to the spring training games into the lead up to the regular season of Major League Baseball. The MLB app has you covered. Personalized highlights, push notifications. You can download the app, the #1 app for live baseball. used that name, Samurai Japan, in 09. They adopted it officially in 2012 for their national team. 2 down for Okamoto. He takes a strike. Another well-placed pitch. Low strike given to him, but De Jesus gets the lead pitch to get ahead of Okamoto. And check to Ha-seong, 0-2. De Jesus looking for the shutdown frame. The roof. It's in foul territory. Perez is there, and a strong effort out of the Venezuelan bullpen from Emmanuel De Jesus. We have played 5 full to finished strong. Suzuki had to leave after the first inning. Morishita, his replacement, with a big go-ahead home run. And now it'll be Ito coming in to a game where there have been 10 hits, 9 of them for extra bases. And Hiromi Ito, the Nippon Ham fighter, the Sawamura Award winner and a Golden Glove Award winner in 2025. So the top pitcher and the top defensive pitcher as well steps in against this Venezuelan lineup, looking to get back to level. Tovar, who had all those great numbers against Yamamoto, will now face a different pitcher for the first time tonight here in the 6th. First pitch swinging, Tovar fouls it away. High strikeout rate for Ito. Understandable for a guy who won the equivalent of the Cy Young in Japan last year. Great pitch mix. Learned a lot of those pitches from none other than the guy that has about as many pitches as any pitcher in baseball, and the guy that you caught, Yu Darvish, as they fixed the pitch count for Wakatsuki behind the plate.
He got a pitch clock violation. First one of the WBC since the first game when Brazil had like 10 of them, I felt like.
Another one of those adjustments that many of these players had to get used to. Now, with the timer winding down, time used by Tovar. It's a foul and then the pitch clock violation, so it's 1-1. The only 2 pitchers to win the Sawamura Award for the Nippon Ham fighters are Yu Darvish and Hiromi Ito. 28-year-old from Hokkaido deals a 2-1 to Tovar. Just missed outside, 3-1.
Here the Japan bench are getting a little cranky after the strikeout to Morishita on a pitch he didn't love. That ball's clearly outside, though.
Some guys over the railing of that third base Japanese dugout, calling out towards the field. Ito's 3-1. Tovar sends it towards the gap, right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Ezequiel Tovar, and his 5th of the tournament. The leadoff man yet again is aboard for Venezuela. It's the 4th time in 6 innings that the leadoff man has been on base.
Just a great job by Tovar. Ball gets in on him just a little bit, but he stays so inside of it nicely. Shoots it out to right center for another hit, and more action for Venezuela on the bases. They didn't hit an extra base hit, Adam. What is wrong with them? They got a single.
Yeah, we were shocked when we saw one from Japan. This is the first single from Venezuela now, and it's Torres who's got an RBI double tonight with a man aboard and nobody out. Action in the Japanese bullpen again. Now it's Yuki Matsumoto loosening up for the Japanese. There's a strike at the bottom of the zone on the change. Edward Torres, who became a leader for A.J. Hinch and the Tigers in their playoff run last season. All-star campaign a year ago for the gritty Tigers. Tovar has a steal in this tournament. Suzuki, an excellent defensive catcher behind the plate. There goes the runner. 1-1 pitch, hit and run. And on his way towards third is Tovar. Yoshida will get to it. And it's first and third with nobody out. Action on the base paths for Venezuela, as you might have expected, AJ.
I love it. Tovar can run. A little hit and run piece here by Venezuela. Kind of Japan at their own game. They like to hit and run, they like to bunt. Nice jump by Tovar. Torres hits his ball through the hole. Tovar never even slows down. Yoshida in left field. Goes it back to second like he should to keep the double play in order. Once again, Venezuela is right back in this game with action on the bases.
Back-to-back singles from Tovar and Torres, and now it's Abreu. Base hit ties the game. Extra bases might give Venezuela the lead. Abreu, who owns a barber shop in Venezuela, in his hometown of Maracaibo. Fouls one back. That was the fastball right down the pipe, and that's the one he wanted.
He was trying to hit that one back to Maracaibo.
No kidding.
Wow, he gets a fastball center cut. Maybe trying to do too much, but I like the aggressiveness. Let it eat.
Big moments require big swings. And a strike. Barbershop is called Activo. He's up cutting his teammates' hair during the season. A lot of fresh cuts in that Venezuelan dugout. Perhaps Abreu responsible. Not trying to be responsible for tying this game. Instead, he'll give Venezuela the lead. Gone! 'Perez, a bouncer to third. Grabbed by Okamoto. One away in the sixth. The moment of a lifetime for Wilyer Abreu. He might have sent this to Caracas.
Holy cow. Fastball. Watch this. This isn't even a... That's a bad throw, by the way. That thing might hit the roof. Look at that. His teammates are ducking for cover. What a moment. This game is awesome. Just when you think one team seizes all the momentum, it completely flips Abreu. I mean, poor Salvador Perez was kind of anticlimactic. Love the guy, but he hit a ground ball. You're like, wait, what just happened? There's no party happening.
One on Churio. Balls and a strike.
Sometimes I wonder how, I know they have scouting reports, they have video on a lot of these Japanese guys, but like Ito, none of these guys have probably ever faced him in their life, and they're just looking for a good pitch. Then we mentioned Abreu tried to hit the one out, well then he did.
Churio sends this one deep, but this one's playable for Yoshida near the warning track. 2 down.
And now every ball that leaves the bat of the Venezuelan hitters, the fans think it's going to be one of these. Look at the motion from the bench. The bat throw. They're like tackling each other to celebrate.
to the top for Acuna. He started this game off with fireworks. Abreu's got the latest edition of the bangs and zooms. Upper tank at Lone Depot. Big cut from Acuna on a slider, 0-2. Momentum shifts from one dugout to the other, A pendulum swing in quarterfinal. Nice pitch on a slider. Acuna doesn't like it, but that was a pitcher's strike from Ito. But this time it's Wilyer Abreu's turn, making his World Baseball Classic debut and the biggest swing he may have ever taken in a Venezuelan uniform. Boston Red Sox Wilyer Abreu to make it a 7-5 Venezuela lead. Emmanuel De Jesus continues to work in relief. Will face Murakami to start off this inning, and 0-1 the count on the future Chicago White Sox.
Insanity. You're thinking Yamamoto goes out, gives them 4, they're up 5-2. Here comes the bullpen. In those 2 innings, the bullpen for Japan has given up 5 runs. 2 homers. Just crazy momentum switches in this game already.
First ever meeting at the WBC in international play between these 2 countries. Started their diplomatic relations in the late 1930s. That obviously stopped and slowed down after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in December of 1941. They began their foreign relations again in the late 1990s and into the late 2000s. 1-1 pitch to Murakami. He ropes one towards center, towards Churio. One away. Venezuela, a team that's trying to get to a spot they've only been to once. Maybe surprising considering the talent of this group. It's only been to the semifinals 1 time in these previous 5 tournaments. Back in 2009, they lost to South Korea in the semis. What a job by De Jesus in this tournament. Venezuela's got the lead as he comes out and massive outs and leaves with the lead intact in the bottom of the 6th for Jose Buto. Deals to Shugo Maki and pours in a strike on the corner. Split last year with the Mets and the Giants. From Cumana, Venezuela, making his first WBC appearance in this tournament. Turn 28 next week. Drops in another one on the edge. Started on the corner and then drifted a little further out to get ahead 0-2.
It's about a perfect pitch right there from Buto.
Is it the changeup? Not there. He's got one of the nastiest changeups in the game. Opponents hit less than 140 against it over the last 2 seasons. Maki has struck out on a changeup tonight. That was back in the 2nd against Suarez. Fastball pushes him back a little bit, 2-2. Looking for a rally here in the 6th, down 2. Slider misses, 3-2. Excellent job by De Jesus. A couple of really strong outings out of the bullpen. In a tournament where relief pitching can determine the outcome on a lot of nights. Bouncing ball to the left side. Garcia. Got a Gold Glove in his resume. He gets the out. 2 away. MLB Plus, new for this season. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week. Get the live radio calls of every game, game day 3D, big inning, minor league action. It's all available at MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today.
One thing I will say about the Japanese, they've been through this before. They've come back and won games. Was it Mexico a couple years ago?
Yep.
23 in the semis where everyone thought they were dead. Came back, scored late. They just look like they are not panic. They look so calm when we show shots of them hitting or whatever they're doing.
Got down early against Australia, got down in the middle innings, I should say, against Australia. In this tournament, came back to take a lead and held on. They've had great success. They've made the semis in all 5 previous tournaments. Needing a rally to do that here tonight. Big cut from Genda, and it's 2-1. Shohei back at the top of the order. Wakatsuki is on deck in the 9 spot first. Little slicer towards short and a leaping grab by Tovar. That ends a 1-2-3 inning between DeJesus, who's